Today we have a look at Medicaid, an elevator incident, and much more.
We have today's weather forecast with Madison and a look at sports with Sawyer.
Today is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022.
We are live from Shroyer's broadcast studio H12 on the campus of Bradley Central High School, and you are watching Vox News Today.
Ferdinand Marcos Jr., known as Bong Bong, is on the brink of accomplishing something that would have been unthinkable decades earlier. According to unofficial results, he appears to be winning the Philippine presidential election by a landslide. His father was ousted as the country's dictator 36 years ago. Unofficial projections have Marcos winning about 30 million votes compared to just 14 million for his closest challenger, outgoing Vice President Leni Robredo.
South Korea's new leader was officially sworn in as president in the Capitol Seal on Tuesday. In his inaugural speech, Yoon Suk-yeol said he has a, quote, audacious plan to strengthen North Korea's economy. In exchange for denuclearization, Yoon said he wants to improve the lives of North Koreans in return for greater security. He also added that his administration is open to negotiating with the North. Yoon begins his 5-year term after defeating the Democratic Party of Korea's Lee Jae-myung in last month's election.
A shopping mall and 2 hotels in Odessa were hit by Russian military strikes on Monday. 3 Kinzhal missiles were fired from a plane and hit a tourist infrastructure target in the Odessa region, Sergei Bratchuk, spokesperson for the Odessa Regional Military Administration, said. 2 people were hospitalized from the missile strike. This is the second hotel in the Odessa region that was targeted Monday. It's unclear why the 2 hotels were targeted. 5 people were wounded and 1 person died in the strike.
Russian President Vladimir Putin thought he could break up the NATO and European Union. That's President Joe Biden's theory, according to a press at a fundraiser for the Democratic National Committee Monday. Earlier in the day, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki spoke about Putin claiming NATO forces were creating a threat near Russia's border. The suggestion that this war was directed by President Putin was prompted by Western aggression or Western plans is patently false and absurd.
Former Alabama corrections officer Vicky White is dead, and the inmate she allegedly fled with, Casey White, is in custody once again. Investigators say they got a tip Sunday. The Ford F-150 was spotted at a car wash in Evansville, Indiana. U.S. Marshals struck their car. The Cadillac crashed into a ditch. Matt Keel, U.S. Marshal, says, quote, "We approached the vehicle to get the 2 suspects out. We got Casey White out, and he immediately announced that his wife had shot herself in the head and that he didn't do it," end quote. Vicky White died shortly after being hospitalized from what U.S. Marshals believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Sheriff Rick Singleton, Lauderdale County, says, quote, "He's not getting out of this jail again. I'll assure you that," end quote.
In a couple of months, more than 14 million people could lose their health insurance. That's because a Medicaid policy that kicked in early in the pandemic is set to expire. A new report from the Kaiser Family Foundation Foundation shows a 25% increase in the number of people enrolled in Medicaid during the pandemic. Medicaid, of course, is the joint federal and state health insurance program for low-income Americans, but that's set to end in August, which means up to 14.2 million people could be cut from the program. A decision on the issue is expected later this month.
They say a fire was set and 2 Molotov cocktails were thrown into the Wisconsin Family Action offices Sunday morning. The group says the suspects also left graffiti on the building. No arrests have been made yet. This comes days after a leaked draft indicated the U.S. Supreme Court may overturn Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion nationwide. Madison police says emotions are high, but violence is not the answer. The governor has called for those involved to be arrested.
Tennis teenage sensation Carlos Alcaraz says he's ready to, quote, go for a grand slam, end quote, after winning the Madrid Masters Sunday in sensational style. And at this rate, you wouldn't put it past him. He's now a hot favorite for the French Open after defeating Rafael Nadal on clay and rising to 6th in the world ranking. This week alone, the 19-year-old star knocked out Nadal and Novak Djokovic, and then he beat Alexander Zverev in straight sets into the final. That secured his second Masters 1000 title after winning Miami last month, and it's his 4th tour win of the year. Alcaraz is playing the kind of fearless, irresistible tennis that can make him very dangerous at the French Open in fortnight's time.
And now let's check on our weather. Madison, what can you tell us?
It has been raining off and off over this past weekend, but we are mostly in the clear now. Stay tuned for today's weather update and much more right after this break.
Wow, college already.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. And thanks for everything.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
That sounds awful. Seriously, awful.
But a lot better than last week.
We weren't born to follow.
Welcome back. I'm Madison Johnston with your weather. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather at glance for today. Right now in Cleveland is 57 degrees with a high listed today at 83 and a low of 56, with precipitation listed at 2%. Humidity is at 97% with a dew point of 56 degrees Fahrenheit, with a visibility of 10 miles, and the UV index is already 1 out of 10. And now let's look at our local radar. There is nothing in our area or in the surrounding communities which will be changing later this week. Now let's look at our local radar. There are scattered storms north of Nebraska and up into Canada. And now let's look at our 7-day weather. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 85 and a low of 55. Thursday we will have sunny skies with a high of 84 and a low of 58. Friday we'll have mostly cloudy skies with a high of 80 and a low of 59. Saturday showers will be moving in with a high of 81 and a low of 62. Sunday those showers will be moving out with sunny skies and a high of 82 and a low of 61. And Monday will also be sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 60. That's all I have for weather, and now here's Sawyer with your sports.
Today we have the look at the Boston Celtics comeback and more news with Amber and Alex right after this break.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented the facts.
Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike one. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike two. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike three. Wow! I'm the greatest pitcher in the world! Yes!
Optimism. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. I'm Sorry Hughes with your sports. Al Hofford and Jason Tatum scored 30 points apiece and led the Boston Celtics fourth quarter comeback and a 116-108 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks on Monday night that tied their Eastern Conference semifinal at 2 games apiece. Hofford scored 16 points and Tatum 12 in the fourth quarter alone in the final period. Hofford's 30 points were a career playoff high for the 35-year-old veteran. Hofford hit a corner three-pointer to put the Celtics back ahead with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left and followed that with a conventional three-point play that made it 98-94 with 5 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. Ronald Acuna's impact on the Braves is massive, yes. We all know how good he is, Ben Villanueva explained on Flippin' Bats. His impact for the game of baseball is far greater than most people can possibly understand. The way he goes about his business on the field, the energy he brings, the passion he brings, the excitement that he brings is next level. The game of baseball needs it. They need him. He brings national attention. Five-star quarterback Arch Manning is planning a visit to LSU football. Manning, the #1 recruit in the nation, according to 24/7 Sports Compulsory, and he intends on seeing a Tigers practice and a game this season. At 6'4" and 215 pounds, he's the nephew of Super Bowl champions Peyton and Eli Manning and the grandson of New Orleans Saints legend Archie Manning. He threw for 1,913 yards and 26 touchdowns this past season, while also running for 381 yards and 6 touchdowns. Besides LSU, Manning also said that he plans to visit Florida and has already made multiple stops at Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. That's all I have for sports. We'll have more news with Amber and Alex right after this break.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
I can't believe we broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do? Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Keep smiling, keep shining. No,
Hi. Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
that's what friends are for.
Welcome back.
A federal appeals court in New Orleans hears arguments Tuesday about whether President Joe Biden legally suspended new oil and gas lease disposals because of climate change worries. The case has not been tried, but a federal judge blocked the order, saying only Congress could suspend the sales. Federal lawyers say the government has broad property to hold, cancel, or defer lease sales. Lawyers for 13 states say a law covering oil and gas leases requires the sales.
The rapper Young Thug is in Atlanta's Fulton County Jail, accused of co-founding a criminal street gang. The Atlanta rapper's real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams. He was arrested at his home in Buckhead in Atlanta, in a neighborhood north of downtown. He's one of 28 people cited Monday in Georgia on conspiracy to violate the stall's RICO Act and street gang charges. The summons say Young Thug is one of three founders of the Young Slime Life, a criminal street gang in Atlanta that's affiliated with the National Bloods gang.
An 11-day national manhunt came to a dramatic end in Indiana on Monday. Authorities say a former Alabama corrections officer had been on the run with an inmate. Surveillance video showed Vicky White walking a man out of jail in what authorities call an escape that was well planned and executed. While reportedly died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds after a police chase and crash in Evansville.
U.S. Marshals have found the escape vehicle used by a corrections officer and an Alabama convict who disappeared a week ago. Vicky White took Casey White, a felon who's also facing 2 new murder charges from the Lauderdale County Jail, in a patrol car last Friday, saying she was taking him to the county courthouse. The two share a name but are not related, but officials believe they had a long-term romantic relationship. They have not been seen since.
Chattanooga firefighters were dispatched to a Broad Street office building Monday morning to rescue a man who fell down an elevator shaft. About 8:05 a.m., the CFD Red Shift companies were dispatched to the James building for a report of a high fall. Additional teams were sent when they learned that the man at the bottom of the elevator shaft in the building. The man was part of a crew that was working in the building, and he fell approximately 20 feet because the elevator car was not in place. Firefighters were able to rescue the man when they assessed the bottom of the shaft from the basement. The man was rescued and then transported to a nearby hospital for examination and treatment.
The Hamilton County Education Foundation are recognizing outstanding teachers, which will be capped out by a special luncheon next week. This year, the literacy hero is Cindy Ball from Ottawa Elementary School. Miss Ball is described as contagiously positive, and her superpower is seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. She makes sure her students have what they need to succeed with excellence. Congratulations, Miss Ball. There will be an inaugural Hamilton County Schools Heroes Awards luncheon on Friday, May 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets are still available.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube through our channel BCHS VOX News.
You will also find more online at our website, voxnews.net.
Remind your friends to like, subscribe, share, and tune in.
You just can't get enough Vox.
That is all we have for you today from Studio H12 at Bradley Central.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears.